I am Dungeon Master, your guide in the realm of Dungeons and Dragons.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I am the Dungeon Master, and this is Heroes Wanted. Today, we rejoin the party as they are on the road north into Caldonia from Carpathia, and they are awaiting the arrival of Shevor, the high priest of the Temple of Pelor. And you guys had you know, watched as Soggy was almost completely, drained and turned into a vampire recently, but Nova managed to reset the countdown on that, and so now um, you're left, with each other in the daylight as Soggy moans softly beneath his sheet. Um, Anytime anyone goes to check on him, though, he becomes ravenous with bloodlust and tries to lash out at you and bite you. And so there's no, comforting him or doing anything really. And so with the heavy burden of Soggy's condition on your minds, you travel the road as you await the arrival of Shavor. As you are traveling, you guys can see various other travelers coming and going north and south along the road here. Some of them are in wagons or riding horses and are making better time than you guys, and so they pass by you. And
At I'm Kolan is going to summon his steed.
It's not that any one of you is like slowing everybody else down. It's that the combination of how big and heavy Noman is, how big and heavy Quillan is, and trying to haul Soggy and Nova and Lorathir and all of that, like, you guys just have to rest your horses that you do have and everything far more frequently. And so Quillan does indeed summon his giant elk steed and ride it as much as he can, but it's not going to quicken your pace. That being said, as you are riding your giant elk, it tends to draw a lot more attention, and suddenly you find yourselves, um, being stared at by groups of people as they pass by, and you know, some of them wide ride around your little caravan. So as you guys see these peasant travelers making their way past you and all of that, um, do you say or do anything or?
I nod and give a very casual wave, the way you'd do if you were trying to assure a police officer that you're not being suspicious. But it's very nightly.
And the people here in Caledonia,
I'd like to ask them if they've seen anyone from the temple on their way here.
hailing the travelers and asking them if they've encountered any priests of Palor on their way. Everybody gives Quillan a wide berth, but tells you that essentially they have not, seen a priest from the Temple of Palor, although there are many wandering priests who travel the roadways and provide aid, sort of like a first responder kind of position. So, do you guys, you know, do anything to try and communicate further with them? Do you have specific things? Do you is there anything that any of these peasant travelers can answer or do for you?
I would ask in a slightly more conversational way if there are any locals going ons.
Well, you're kind of in the, middle of nowhere.
I fuck. I know that.
Yeah.
I figured they could tell me, well, there's nothing going on, or hey, you might be surprised by this.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's not any one that you speak to at first, but assuming that you pause to talk to a few of the peasants that are passing you intermittently throughout the day here, eventually you come across one of them that does tell you that he had been crossing the bridge about 10 miles ahead and had been accosted by some kind of monstrous creature.
I,
Is there anything that you could tell us more about the creature?
Oh, it was horrible. The fangs dripping with venom and eyes glowing red and huge claws and horns and hooven cloved feet and just evil.
Well,
For knowledge religion to see if I know of such a creature?
Yeah, you can roll religion, but also you can roll insight.
Okay.
I'm rolling insight.
I don't know who has control of my character sheet. Oh shoot. DM, I meant to ask you this over the week and I got busy and kind of forgot. Could you please is there something you could tell me about Shavor that only Nova would be aware of? Something Shavor would have told her about him?
I don't know if only you would be aware of it, you know.
All right, just something enough that it would be so that it would seem plausible that we have, somewhat of a relationship, that we know each other, even though he doesn't know me. Something
Right.
that only someone would know of. Like, I think you get the idea.
Yes. So whoever wants to take control of Nova can you know, roll for him when the time comes. But Qualan, you coming from a Goliath society know when someone is exaggerating, and it appears as though this guy is, you know, aware that you guys are adventurers and is trying to like make this big story up.
You know, it is not a good thing to lie. Especially when it comes to exaggerating and exaggerating something.
I'm not lying.
Why don't you try to relax, think about what it is that you saw, and give us better details?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not monster cataloger. You know, I
Well,
don't.
did it make any particular sounds? Did it smell in any particular way?
Yeah, it roared and smelled awful and came slashing at me with terrible claws and you know, it.
How did you manage to survive?
I I punched it and ran away.
Well, just something doesn't seem very threatening.
Yes, if a commoner was able to just punch it and run away, then it's not really much of a threat.
Wait, you fucking pleb.
I know, right?
I'm going to make a very kind of dismissive gesture at my own party members and look back to this commoner and go like regardless of what my companions say, it's notable valor to speak. And I'm going to say thank you for the warning and for the information. And I'm going to give him a silver.
Oh, thank you, sir. At least one of you has some sense of dignity and nobility and honor. Your companions are little better than bandits.
Well, I guess they can be glad they have me around.
I am not a bandit.
You are talking to a paladin, good sir.
And you're talking to the Duke of Essex.
You are clearly not that.
Yeah.
I think it's time we stop accosting this man.
Thank you for your warning, Mr. Deep.
You are quite welcome, sir. Wait, ma'am. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
This man seems confused.
Maybe. Let's keep writing.
All right, so you guys ride on, and it takes a bit, but you make it to the bridge, and so now here you are at the bridge.
I will cast locate creature.
Don't you have to?
I will be looking
specify
for
the
Shavor.
creature. Oh, okay. You're looking for Shavor. You cast locate creature for Shavor. Shavor, what's the range on that, by the way?
1,000 feet.
Yeah, Shavor is not within 1,000 feet of you.
I will. All right. I will. He is. Wherever he is at least not within a quarter-mile radius.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
And then now, as you guys are here, one or more of you can hear the sounds of some kind of creature.
Well, I mean,
What is that?
I'm
You-
going to
you all
hop
heard
off
that?
my horse and I'm going to attempt to localize the sound.
It's coming from down the hill by the water, by that little pier.
I'm gonna start walking on over, check it out.
As you walk down there, you see a humanoid figure covered in some kind of mud or dirt or hair or something. It has long claws on its hands and long hair hanging down, and it walks with a hunched gait. But it appears to just be like rocking back and forth on the dock, moaning.
Can I make some sort of check to identify it?
Like what?
A nature or religion?
Neither of those is going to identify this, so I won't have you roll.
Can I just make a perception check to notice if there are any finer details?
Yeah.
It's hurt or something.
Yeah, you can make a perception
Maybe
check.
emaciated because it's hungry.
Yeah, you can make a
And
perception
maybe
check.
I could roll an insight check on it.
Yeah, if you
Is that
want to. Well, insight is more about like trying to determine something about it, but yeah, it looks like maybe a hag or something like that. You can't really tell.
I'm gonna take a.
Also, I don't really see it on the map.
Yeah, that's because I haven't placed a token just yet.
I'm gonna kind of lift a hand at it and give it a whistle. Engage whistle noise.
It turns towards you and screams a horrid scream as it backs up to the edge of the dock.
I'm gonna crouch a little bit and just kind of look at it a little longer.
As you look at it a little longer, you see that it has a huge, swollen shut black eye.
I'm gonna kind of lift my hand and tap on the part of my face that corresponds to its eye.
Ugh, don't hurt me.
I just gonna say Not here to hurt you. You speak the common tongue?
Of course I do, lad. Why wouldn't I?
Are you okay?
No, I'm not okay. I was down here cleaning up and trying to catch some shellfish for food and some ruffian assaulted me and gave me this black eye.
Yeah, I talked to him
Ish.
10 miles down the road. He said you attacked him and he had to punch you in the eye to get away.
I merely asked him if he could spare anything to eat.
I have some food for you.
Oh, bless you.
I will give him 5 days worth of rations.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Blessings upon you.
There's no need to thank me. I am happy enough to help.
Yeah. And I'm gonna kind of motions like, would you let me take a look at your eye?
Ow, yes, please.
I'm gonna do a medicine check against his eye and see how it seems. Nothing permanent, right?
It appears as though his orbital bone has been fractured.
I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds.
Oh, ow, that's so much better. Oh, thank you. You were truly sent by the gods.
Alright.
I'm just happy to help.
I'm gonna look down it's like, this dude's still covered in mud and has claws, right?
They're just really long fingernails now that you, can see past the mud and dishevelment of this homeless man who was recently assaulted.
Oh, he's just not kept.
Correct.
I'm gonna kind of waggle I'm gonna kind of wave a finger at him like, you should probably clean yourself off and try not to spook any more passersbys.
I never meant to frighten anyone. I'm just a hungry, homeless old man.
Alright.
I
I hope it stays that way. Don't want no one to have to come fish you out of this river.
sleep pity. And Kolan sort of walks up and gives him a comforting pat on the shoulder.
Aren't you a big one? I am scared.
Would you like to accompany us? We're going to the temple.
The temple, you say?
Yes. By the way, have you managed to see anyone coming from the temple?
I see everyone coming and going of all sorts.
Any of them come from the temple?
I love how Noman's straight to the point, Yeah, okay, cool. Any of them come from the temple? Answer the goddamn question. So, he says, I don't know if any of them came from the temple, but certainly some priests of Pelor came this way. Yes.
Where was the last time you saw them?
Yesterday, perhaps?
No, I'm sorry, not when. Where? The location.
Oh,
Here, right?
Yeah. This is where I chill and live. By the way, Lorithir, you trying to get down with any of this?
I'm staying up on the bridge, keeping an eye out both directions to make sure no one sneaks up on us while we're dealing with this old guy. Feels like a trap to me.
Got it? Yeah. And you know, your elven instincts would indeed, you know, tell you to be wary in this situation. So that is perfectly reasonable and within character here. So
And Qualan sort of asks the old man for his name as they're
didn't someone give you one when you were born?
yeah. Qualan asks the old man for what his name is.
You just told me it's Qualan. I
No.
don't have nothing wrong with my hearing or my mind, young man.
You is blind.
Qualan sort of says, "No, I mean your name, good sir."
You already have one. What do you need mine for?
No, we wish to know what your name is.
Oh, I don't know. Nobody's asked me that in so long, I forgot.
Imagine that is certainly a conundrum.
Ah, what a curmudgeoner.
Not trying to be overly difficult with this, just like he literally hasn't like had anyone talk to him in so long that he forgot what people call him.
Well, until we figure out a name, he's a curmudgeoner.
Indeed.
Well, that being what it is, want to stay here under this bridge?
I don't have anywhere else to go.
Ain't there yet, bro.
Well, all right.
I honestly think we should bring him along with us.
Why so?
It would haunt my conscience if we didn't bring him along.
Hey man, you want to go with this guy?
Where would you take me? What would I do? Of what use can this old man be to you mighty warriors?
Well, to be honest, you would be more familiar with the terrain and the location. It would be very helpful if you helped us find the person we came here to see. You see, our friend over here is not well, and we need powers that we are not capable of achieving ourselves. We're looking for someone who has agreed to meet us here for that said purpose.
I kind of have to laugh at the assumptions in that statement.
Well, he probably. I not know. I don't know. I guess both. He seems like a hermit or a wanderer. If he just kind of lives about here, meaning just some homeless guy who lives out in the wild. He'd be more familiar with the location.
Okay, there's probably some truth to that.
Yeah, so he says, well, you know, I suppose I could travel with you a ways down the road as long as I wouldn't be a burden upon you.
You certainly would not be, good sir.
And with that, he kind of like comes up the hill towards Noman, and
I'm gonna put up a hand and go like, but wash off first.
Oh yes. And he walks back down and gets into the water and strips naked. He throws his hooded robe off to the side of the riverbank and just walks out there naked as the day he was born. And after going under the water and you seeing a cloud of mud form, he comes walking back out just as naked as he was before.
This time a little more shiny.
Yeah, but this time now you can really see what's going on because he's not covered in mud and everything. So,
Like some feces encrusted peasant.
yeah. So now he's clean and all of that, and there's just this old naked guy just standing there on the side of the river.
Yeah.
The only thing he
wonder-
has to put back on is that filth encrusted robe.
Yeah.
Let's clean this before we get tracked by wolves. Yeah, I'll watch that.
Let's get this curmudgeoner out of here since we have some bleeding hearts with us.
Yes, well, you'd have to have a heart for it to bleed, so.
I'm just
Well,
saying
I mean-
the dude was
Oh no, man.
perfectly willing to hang out here. He's been doing it for years, apparently.
Oh man. The battle for the scale of good and evil is not always fought like some epic battle, but sometimes it is just doing little things to help where you can.
What I'm saying is that I don't believe leaving him behind would have been an evil act. It's just nice, which,
Well, it's potentially mutually beneficial.
I
There is that.
I actually like what you were going for right there, so I'm gonna make that one of the tenets of things that Chevor taught you, and that will be like the thing that like would prove that you know him, because it's basically like
That sounds like something I would say.
yeah, well, it's like how Socrates has certain famous things that he said and all of that. This is Chevor's famous thing that he said, and it goes like this: the scales of good and evil are not kept in balance by major acts of good or evil, but rather by the compassion or apathy of everyday men.
I do my best to memorize the words.
that is an interesting sentiment.
And as soon as you say that to him, the man looks at you, and you can see a glint in his eye.
Nah.
Insight?
Would somebody please roll insight for Nova?
Yeah, I'll roll.
I will.
I'll roll her insight.
Oh, that's soggy.
That's Quillan. All right, so Nova, as you look, this is not Chevor, but for just a moment, his eyes looked like Chevor's.
Okay, this guy's smoking a cigarette, so I'm gonna just leave it for a little.
So, like, what is this guy like? Previous incarnation of Chevrolet?
You don't know. You're not sure. You didn't quite get enough to like deduce exactly what's going on, but you got enough to like be like, hey, that was the look that Chevor gives me. Like, I've seen that look in his eyes a million times, like, and then it quickly passes.
Man,
You know,
I don't
I'll just
know.
straight up-
Looking
I'll
at
just
the
straight
eye,
up
this
ask
old
him.
dude might just happen to have the same eye color as Chevor. Those eyes look kind of blue. Hard to tell.
I'm just gonna straight up ask him if he knows who Chevrolet is. By any chance, do you know a priest by the name of Chevrolet?
Chevor, the high priest of the Temple of Pelor? Why everybody knows him. His power is known far and wide. He is the Lord of Iru Moria and is one of the few religious figures granted with a lorddom here in Caldonia.
Yes, amazing. You know him as well as I do. We actually came here to meet him.
Oh,
Did you happen to have seen him on your way on? Did you happen to have seen him about or near the
of course
location?
I haven't seen him. Why would he come all this way and leave the Temple of Iru Moria? That's nothing he would do. And you say you came to meet him, huh? How does he know one such as you?
Well, I am also a priestess, and he is the one we are here to meet. He is the one
Yeah.
who asked for aid.
Then let's keep this on the road.
Yeah, I guess we can walk and talk.
Yes.
But
My legs are not what they were though.
hmm?
I'm afraid I'm gonna be very slow going. I apologize.
Wolan just
Well, you
decides
could-
to give him a piggyback ride.
You can ride on Jackson with me. You'll look completely ridiculous carrying a man on your back.
I may look ridiculous when helping someone like that onto my back, but I am certainly treating well the virtues of Palor.
Ah.
I
Alright.
thank you, large man, but I do believe I can ride. Yes.
That's what I like to hear. Up. I'm gonna help the curmudgeoner up onto Jackson and then head about riding.
And so he reaches up and you pull him up, and he rides behind you, obviously, and
Yes.
he is just riding along and answering any questions that you guys have.
Yeah.
Had Nova asked something specific? I thought I had to answer something there for a second before we said, let's keep traveling.
no, that was me talking.
Okay.
Not right.
So Lorathier, I want you to roll for perception as you're keeping an eye out while all of this is taking place. All right, so Lorathier is watching, for signs of ambush from any direction, and you do happen to catch one thing that strikes you, and that is that this man's shadow is misshapen. Every single time you look at it, it's like distorted. And being an elf from the Feywild, this is something that you're very familiar with.
It's okay. What is it?
It's a shapeshifter's telltale messed up shadow.
All right, I will casually, as we're walking along. Quolan is carrying the guy on his back, right?
No, he's riding on back of Noman's horse.
Okay, then I'll walk up to Quolan and say, Quolan, did you perhaps notice our new companion's shadow?
Hazard?
He sort of looks over and says, no, I haven't really noticed.
It's not the same shape as the man himself, and in fact, it regularly changes shape. I
Are
think
you
that
saying that this man is somehow either cursed or is hiding his real appearance?
Indeed, I believe it's the latter. I think if my intuition is correct, he has the ability to change his shape at will. The only
That
people...
is
Pardon me. Go ahead, Quillan.
that is certainly concerning. Though he hasn't shown any ill will.
The only people I know of who have that ability are shapeshifters. Oh gosh, what are they called?
Changelings. Is that what you're thinking of? The changelings?
No, I was thinking of what's they're a
Doppelganger?
yeah, doppelganger. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for.
Ah,
For 5e purposes, there really isn't any quote doppelganger. Well, there is a monster, but I mean there are a plethora of creatures that are various races that are considered shape changes.
Yeah, doppelganger is what I was thinking of, and it is a.
For some
It
reason,
is a
when I think of a
D&D monster.
Fey shape changer, I think of the Fey flesh golem.
Also, a doppelganger is a monstrosity.
Yes.
Boy, do I wish I had some detect evil. Would you happen to have divine sense? Hazard?
Let me double check.
Hazard does not, no. Quillan does as a paladin, I think, unless something
Yeah,
prevents him from
yeah.
having it.
Hold on, I do have divine sense.
You need to like abuse the hell out of that.
Okay, then I'll cast that.
It's not a spell, it's ability that you activate.
Yeah, I'll activate that.
Your
I imagine as it activates, sort of like these sort of blooms, pollen.
I'm
Well,
sorry,
there would be
Hazard.
no obvious effects.
You were breaking up for me there. You something pollen?
Sorry, I was trying to add some flavor.
Okay.
Well, remember, the divine sense doesn't really come with any like particular obvious like ways of determining that someone's using it. Like it's just
in this
you
world,
are able to notice.
in this world, your eyes do glow a bit, not so bright that it's like the camera flash, with the dog's eyes glowing green and all of that. But like there's definitely like a soft glow to them, especially if you were in a completely dark room. Here out in the daylight, probably don't even notice.
It's not really noticeable.
Right.
Also, I think the word you're looking for is hag. They are known for shape shifting.
Well, the word I was looking for is doppelganger.
I was going to say, I was pretty sure he was clear that he was looking for doppelganger.
Yeah, I know, but if a fae was a shape changer,
sure.
Just say.
At the risk of like ruining the situation here, I get this. The player, I'm getting a sense that this is Shavor coming in disguise to make sure that he's not getting like jumped by demons or something.
I get the impression that like that we were about that we're getting red herringed with the red herring. That this is actually just a legit monster.
I don't know one way or the other, but my instinct says that we should be prepared to resist any attack from this person at any moment.
Okay, so
we shouldn't expose ourselves to risk. That if we're aware of the possibility, we don't need to act first. We don't need to off the old guy.
You know what?
But we need to be prepared in case he does anything unexpected.
Let me pose this to you as a possibility. Shape changer is just a race. And he may be a shape changer. He could also be a shape changer who's just some guy.
The only shape changers I'm aware of are doppelgangers.
Oh no, there's literally shape changer as the race.
You say that I'm not sure what playable means either, but this
I think he means a changeling.
He's speaking in character.
This person is obviously not what he seems. What he is in truth, I can't be certain of. So don't leave your backs unguarded and be prepared for whatever happens. That's all I say.
You know, now I actually have in my mind's eye what seems like a great argument in this context. This is a fucking NPC in Atarakis' world that's actually pretty nice. Can't trust him.
Well, I mean, how many stories have we heard of, like, the pastor of a church pretending to be a homeless guy just to see how the people who attend that church are going to treat him?
Yeah.
And I claim to have known him, and it seems, by all standards, that I do, but he doesn't know me. I mean, if I had the ability to shape change to check out to see if something was legit or not, I probably would too. But, however, a more important question, what does his original form generally look like? What is the shape of the silhouette of his shadow?
Oh, to be clear, unlike how they describe, like, if you polymorph, you have your original shadow and all of that. Shape changers, what it is their shadow is constantly, like, in a state of flux to where, like, it doesn't match the shape that they are, nor does it, like, look like any other definable shape.
Okay. So, you know what? I think, what time of day is it?
It is getting later.
I never got the results of the divine sense.
That is true.
Yes. So 1 second. First, it is later in the day. Second, your divine sense detects that he is good and not evil.
And Qualan sort of, like, nods happily and says, "I sense no evil from this one. We should be all right."
I am going to tend to Suggy.
What?
I'm going to tend to Soggy. Check up on him, see how he's doing, see if I can help him with anything.
Soggy hisses and tries to bite at you through his mouth harness.
Something like that?
Out.
Yeah.
While he rides about, I'm gonna, like, I don't know, rub the top of his head, like, just kind of make like that shh. Like, try to calm him, relax him.
I say, metal man, what is that monstrosity?
It is my friend. He was turned into a vampire. He is in the process of being changed. I have done everything within my power to delay it, but it has come into some close quarters. I have even gone so far as to curse him with the inability to do harm, but he needs to eat, and there's nothing that we can feed him with. The more time that goes by, I fear the more he is losing his mind.
By the gods, destroy that monstrosity.
No.
I do not believe, if I'm correct, he's no anyone who has been bitten doesn't truly turn into a vampire unless they have drinking the blood.
Correct.
Yeah, well, I said that pretty much, but he's in the process of becoming a vampire, and we have delayed it. But yeah, I will say no. He is not going to be destroyed unless it is the only way to save his soul.
His soul is damned. You save his mortal flesh and yours.
All is possible. The light of Taylor, the Dawnbringer gives hope when there is none.
Ah, yes, well, you probably know best then.
Just do yourself a favor, in the very least. Try not to get too close to him.
And all Soggy can say is.
I will cast calm emotions on Soggy. Irrelevant whether or not it'll do anything.
Yeah,
It's on the attempt.
it actually does it doesn't have the complete effect of calm emotions because he's partially undead and all of that, but it basically allows him to rest again.
Kind of even him out a little.
Yeah. And then you guys ride on, and like I said, it was already pretty late by the time you guys got to the bridge, and so now it is getting to be dusk, and you guys have to stop and rest for the night, or what are you gonna do?
I will ask our companion if he knows of any safe locations that we may stop for the night.
Well, most people, as you've seen from all the campsites that we've passed so far, stop and camp right alongside the road so that there's safety in numbers.
Yep.
Now I have to ask a question. The deadline where we're gonna meet, is it like? Does it seem like we're missing Chivor, or like are we late?
No, you don't seem, like you're late, as far as whether you missed him or not. Like, I mean, you were watching, you didn't see him pass by, but
Are we still on the way to the rendezvous, or are we there?
you're getting very close.
Okay, so yeah, we'll just mosey on down there.
Not stop and rest, just keep pushing to the rendezvous.
Well, so long as it doesn't, rest, yeah, but so long as it doesn't cause us to miss the meeting date.
Oh, nope, you should be on time arriving there tomorrow mid morning. So that's, what the agreed upon place and time was.
All right, so not sure about watching, but I guess we'll go to set up camp unless anybody objects.
No, I think
Okay.
it's important that we do that. Resting will keep us fresh and prevent us from being an easy target.
Dead people.
Yeah, that too. So the old man says, "Oh, it's so good to be off of that horse," and he says, "Oh, please, excuse me while I go into the bushes over here." And then he walks off. And then he comes back about half an hour later.
Well, it takes curmudgeoners a while to do
Gotcha.
their business.
Yeah. And he looks around and he says, "So, shall we eat?"
Hey,
Yeah. Do we have a fire going? Are we preparing a meal?
Yeah. Did you guys get a fire started? And he's looking around, expecting you guys to say, "Yeah, let's eat."
Have I been able to gather any food?
Absolutely. This part of the world is pretty lush and full of stuff, so very easily.
All right. And I will make a stew with the brace of rabbits and some root vegetables that I found.
Yeah, and you notice that the old man, eats his like in one like steady motion where he just kind of drinks it down like a bowl of cereal at the end, and looks at you and looks at the pot of stew to see if there's enough for more.
Has everyone had a normal share already?
Soggy
yeah, I've
won't.
had enough.
Yeah, Soggy won't eat. Noman doesn't eat. Quallen can eat, but due to his sickness, like not nowhere near as much as what you would expect someone his size. So it really just comes down to you and Nova.
And Nova's a vegetarian, so she's probably not excited about the
Yeah.
rabbit stew.
Yeah.
Then he's welcome to as much as he can eat.
He finishes off the pot.
Waste not, want not. That is a true understanding of how you should treat everything.
That was about 3 gallons of stew.
That I know that. I'm saying like the virtues of
Oh,
not wasting anything.
I get it. I'm just saying, like, this guy just basically competitive ate in front of you.
Sir, have you not had a decent meal in a while? That's quite impressive.
Oh, and so
What a-
long.
But a healthy appetite.
Are you gonna finish those squashes that you roasted over the fire there, Nova?
I was thinking of it, but if you're still hungry, by all means.
He eats an entire pumpkin-sized squash that you had roasted.
I hope it tasted good. I hope it tasted good enough.
Oh yes. Very, very, very delicious. Your elven companion found some perfect lemongrass seasonings to bring out the squash flavor, and it's great.
I'm very glad you enjoyed it.
And then he goes and digs one of the rations out of his backpack and eats it.
Under my breath to Nova, I'm going to say, is this man eating for a family? What is going on here?
Oh, he might have gotten called away to work.
Then I'll say it to Quolan.
I mean,
that-
maybe, who knows? It has been a long time since he has eaten. It may be within his interest to eat as much as he can when available.
I think that this goes far beyond any normal person's capacity, don't you? I mean,
Maybe it's because of, and he sort of makes sure to whisper this and says, maybe it's because the magic that allows him to change shape is sure causes a drain of
Yo, I need four raw tenders.
what?
He just had his push to talk off and was talking at work. Keep going.
He said, as I was saying, he Qualan thinks that the magic that allows him to change shape is that allows him to change shape causes him to like eats away at him.
right? So he has to eat more to sustain the magic.
Yes, that's what I believe.
Fascinating. Never heard of such a thing.
Neither have I, but we live in interesting time.
After eating like a buffet, the old man spreads out a blanket, curls up, and is snoring within seconds.
I will begin my meditation after speaking with Noman and letting him know that I plan on joining him for the second half of the watch.
Uh,
Noman reacts with his usual lack of emotion.
it's I don't care. If you don't feel you don't need the beauty rest, then sure.
All right, so you guys, uh, you know, go to rest. Who is on what watch and when?
Noman is on all of them.
You're gonna just let your companion sleep while you sentry watch?
Well, I mean, somebody else wants to get up, they can. But it's also worth noting, in strict technicality, Sentry Watch is what a normal Warforged does. I don't even have to do that. I'm just kind of comfortable.
Oh,
I can actually kind of mill around, you know, sharpen my sword, do anything, because
basically short
Warforged.
rest rules.
It's that Warforged, Sentry Rest instead of resting. My class feature makes it to where I don't have to rest at all.
Got it.
But it's kind of a splitting hairs thing, so I never really brought it up, but I finally decided to mention it.
So, roll for perception.
And I said this earlier. I just wanted to make sure it was clear that for the second or the last two watches, I'll be up and watching with Noman.
Of course, yes, because you meditate.
There is a lovely 21.
And then Lorathir, because you're also aware of everything in your meditation, so regardless of when this is taking place, you go ahead and roll perception as well. You guys both see a huge winged shadow pass over the moon. It's so big it basically is like a lunar eclipse as it passes by it.
Ah.
you guys are like cool.
I mean, does it attack us?
Yeah, and Kolan probably sees this and
Kolan
just
is asleep.
sorry.
Yeah, like, hold on, like, you know, Garak, remind, can I think of anything that would be like this?
It looks like one of the wyverns or dragon-like creatures.
We fought one of those last time we were in Caledonia, didn't we?
Yeah, Carpathia, Caledonia, wherever you were.
Yeah, they just kind of live around here, so that ain't all that weird.
This one's big.
Okay, well, so am I.
Yeah, but no, like bigger than you.
For you.
It like I said, it's like a lunar eclipse as it passes over the moon.
Yeah. Anyway.
You guys are like,
I
what?
mean, unless it's gonna do something, I just don't
Yeah,
care.
not much we can do about it, is
Nope,
there?
nope. It just passes, and then as soon as the effect of the shadow passing over the moon ends, you guys kind of lose sight of it as it's just in the darkness of the night sky again, and it's just gone. And the rest of the night passes uneventfully. Quallen, you awake in the morning to find Lorathir and Noman already up and doing. The old man is snoring away. And what is Nova's morning routine look like? Is she an early riser? Does she sleep in?
Well, Kualan is certainly going to do his stretches and exercises.
As a part of her religion, she rises with just before sunrise. She's like and prays as the sun creeps over the horizon.
Yeah. So as you're waking up, you see Nova in her prayer, and Noman and Lorathir are doing their thing, and the old man's just kind of still snoring away.
When we're ready to go, has he awoken yet?
By the time you finish packing up the camp, he's like pulled the covers over his head and is trying to sleep some more.
It really is time to get on the road.
Oh, yes, sorry, one moment. And he quickly throws everything into his pack and like is ready to go.
Neat.
Shall we be on our way then?
Indeed.
As you guys are traveling, he starts to talk to you and wants to know, you know, each of your stories in brief. So, for fairness sake, we're just going to go left to right across the top for the characters. So, Noman, what is your deal?
I was built and put into service a few hundred years ago. Been a knight of Caledonia for essentially all of it. The specifics change year to year. War sometimes, adventuring others. Sometimes I spend a fair bit back in my House Eternal. But There isn't a lot of story there, unless you want to know a lot of nitty little details. There are a lot of those. And that's the generals.
Yes, yes, very well. And what of you, my dear lady?
It would be difficult to explain without sounding like a mad person, but to put it simply, I am on a mission to save the world from utter devastation. There is an ancient evil that seeks to conquer the entire world, and in doing so, would bring utter ruin. Other than that, I'm just your run-of-the-mill Hilarion player. Not sure if y'all heard me, but I said what I said.
I heard you.
I heard you.
Indeed, came through loud and clear. So, that brings us to Lorathier, my pointy-eared friend. What is your story?
I, as I'm sure you may have imagined, I'm from a land far to the north of here. I, as a young elf, I always loved the woods and developed a strong connection to nature. And as I grew older, the wanderlust grew strong in me, and I would spend weeks away from home just wandering the woods and fields around my homeland. And one evening, I had a dream that more real than any dream I've ever had. A vision of a place that I have been searching for ever since. A valley with mountains in the background and a view of the sea, great trees, and the sun and the shadow, the light through the trees. This place, I will see it. I will find it, and I will see it for myself in person. And wherever I have to travel, however far, however long, I will see it before my day's end. And I know not where it lies. I have no direction to follow. So I wander.
Ah, I see. And what of you, my large ally? What is your story?
So, like, and finishing my stretches and letting out a. I am Qualan. My family has been dedicated its watchers of nature for generations. We have been serving under the Church of Palor for quite some time, but unfortunately, an ancient curse has been tied to my family veins has come to me, and I seek the dome to cure it. And I sort of show the wasting leprosy sort of ravaging my body as I sort of show the lack of fingers on my hand.
The old man shudders visibly as you unwrap some of your bandages and says, "Oh, please, sir, do not do that. Please put those back on."
I simply do, saying, it's. I fear that if I do not cure this soon, I shall not live my purpose.
Yes, indeed. All right. So, as all of that is going on, you guys are, riding on and, trying to make it to the rendezvous point. The old man says, "I'm sorry. Would it be okay if I were to go and use the bushes over there?"
Oh, I don't see why not.
And then he goes and he's gone about another half an hour and he comes back. Oh, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
And then you guys arrive at the specific location. It's a little roadside shrine, a marker that you knew you could make it to in time. And so at this roadside shrine, there is a couple of travelers making their prayers for safe travel and all of that, but no sign of Shavor.
This is troubling.
I will cast locate creature.
Shavor is about a quarter of a mile from you, off the road.
All right. I know where he is. Let us go to meet him.
I'll join Nova, but I will hide and kind of sneak along to make sure it's not an ambush.
Before you can get very far at all, suddenly the old man says, "Stop!"
Yes? What is it?
"You shall proceed no further."
I do not understand.
He raises his hands and his shape changes from an old man hermit to a very powerfully built yet still incredibly beautiful woman with flowing golden hair and the features of an elf, but so powerfully built that it's more like a Amazon in an elf's face.
Ah, that's odd.
What is the meaning of this?
I am Shevra, Shavor's daughter, and I have been sent here to ascertain the truth of your intentions. And I can tell that you're carrying and cavorting with that monstrosity means that you can only be in league with the Sisters of Darkness, and therefore I cannot allow you to try and assassinate Shavor.
Excuse me. What are you. What in the world are you talking about?
I'm talking about how I'm about to light you all up with this fire.
But I do not understand. We clearly said that we are trying to cure the little one of its curse.
You
We,
don't you
we
don't
do not
cure
even
evil, you destroy it.
Hmm.
Who are you? I do not believe that you are the daughter of Shavor. If you are the daughter of Shavor, you would have similar beliefs as him, and you would know just as well as I do that there is always a cure for evil. Who are you?
It's called being burned away in the light of Palor.
that's not really an effective cure.
It's
You are a
the it's
liar.
the it's the most effective cure, guaranteed 100% effective. You dare call me a liar, sir? And suddenly her form like ripples slightly and giant wings sprout out of her back.
I'm hiding and knocking an arrow to my bowstring.
Is that supposed to scare me? I can do the same, and I will do the same. I will also grow wings from my back.
So now an angel and a half dragon are staring each other down as they try to determine which of them is the most intimidating.
Wait a minute.
She
Are
sees
you?
you. No, I'm just kidding. You're obviously hidden.
Say to her,
Are the wings draconic?
Yes.
I will say to her,
And
stand aside. Yeah, we will
and
not
Palan
allow
to
you.
Hazard, 1 second. Stand aside and what?
Stand aside, please. We will not. We must do something to help our friend.
Okay. And then Hazard, what were you saying?
Palan just looks at her in astoundment and says, You are half dragon, aren't you?
She doesn't even acknowledge you. She's so pissed off that Nova's like challenging her that she's about to like attack.
If I pick up all this, I'm not allowed to keep none of this shit no more.
I will look down at my allies and say, go to him immediately. You must find him. Take Sagi with you.
Fine, we shall do that.
I'm staying to help Nova. I'm not leaving her alone. But I'm out of sight, so she may not know that.
Correct, yes.
I will cast Protection from Good and Evil and Sanctuary.
Okay. Before you can cast either of them, she dispels them both. Counterspells them both.
Oh dear.
We don't have any.
Okay.
So she sees you start to cast a spell and immediately uses counterspell.
You know what? Let's go full blown with this. I cast Daylight.
She can tell that you're casting daylight and just looks at you and like doesn't waste a counterspell.
You are mistaken. Leave my friends alone.
You are mistaken. Destroy that evil, or I shall destroy it for you.
The only evil I can see is you.
What color are the scales on her wings?
They are a like rubbed gold, like a polished bronze almost. You know, not polished gold, like a gold that's been muted.
Like bronze?
Right, like polished bronze.
You know what? Well, simply, let's go the easiest thing first. I will simply say, please allow us to help our friend.
I am.
Well, right in there, we must. Only the true light of Taylor can help him.
This is the true light of Palor, and her eyes glow golden, and she holds up her hand and creates a ball of light in it that's as bright as your daylight spell, but it's just her standard light cantrip.
You saying I'm not allowed to keep them on the Titan.
So with just a light cantrip, she creates the daylight spell.
Sorry, I got into it a little bit with my boss. What said?
With with just the light cantrip, she creates a light as powerful as your daylight spell. And says, "This is the light of Palor."
Yes. David did the girl before. Yes.
I mean, I don't know. Can I roll a persuasion check? Like no, leave us alone.
Yeah, absolutely. At disadvantage.
And you can maybe use an inspiration point to make it normal.
This one has no inspiration on their sheet.
I may have used it already.
That's what I'm thinking. Although one of you could try to aid her, and then that would negate the disadvantage.
I'll try to aid her.
Oh, or although didn't Noman already say he was willing to take Soggy and go? So,
I never said that.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, Nova
No.
just said to go, and Lorathier said he wasn't, and then we dropped it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm still about. One moment.
Does a 10 give her advantage?
It does. Oh no. Yeah, 10's advantage. Yeah. I thought.
Sorry,
it had to
what
be
was that?
above a
I got
10.
distracted by something.
Nothing. The 10 gives Nova advantage, which means that it negates the disadvantage, so Nova may roll normally for persuasion.
No, I mean, that's the one I made. That's not shit.
Pretty good.
All right, that is extremely good. Unfortunately, it is exactly 2 points shy of what was needed in order to convince this powerful being to just stand aside. She says, "I take no orders from mortals, even ones with fancy illusionary wings."
Polan, sort of noticing things are going south, is going to take the bundle that holds Soggy and run with it.
Hold on. Atarakis, can I just make a check? What is this thing?
It's a half dragon.
The half dragon?
Yeah.
Wait, that's it?
It's a half dragon shapeshifter.
It is a half dragon shapeshifter.
Yep.
Is there any way to get an approximate assumption of its the power of its magic?
Yeah, you can roll insight.
Spudgem. I hope I roll high. Heyo! Natural 20.
Yeah, you can't tell anything.
Damn
it. Very powerful, physically strong, has all the gifts of a half dragon. The shape-shifting ability, isn't really going to come into play in combat per se, but of course she could be anyone at any time. And as far as like her overall magical power level, you don't know exactly how high it goes, but she was tossing out counter spells like she had them in the bank.
So she's probably a few orders above our highest tier spellcaster and a physical threat. Could I identify her element?
Yes. Go ahead and roll Arcana to determine more about her and her power set.
24.
She seems to have a power set that revolves around light and or fire.
That's interesting. What I expected, no less.
I'm gonna say, listen, I wish in no way to bring you harm, and I will not fight you, but I will also not allow you to harm my friends.
How do you propose to stop me?
Any way that I can. But if need be, I will die here, if only to keep you busy.
I do not harm innocent or good creatures, and you may be very wrong-minded and stupid and naive and gullible and uneducated and you kind of smell bad, but
yeah, any number of pejoratives.
Yeah. But you are not evil.
Do you have a quill and pen? I need to write these down.
Noban just starts writing down all these insults. He's like, "Oh, that's a good one."
So scribing services anytime. I can put these all down for you.
So, she's very insulting, but her main point is that you are not evil and therefore not open to being destroyed.
Then let us pass.
I cannot allow that to remain in this world.
Then you have yourself a very interesting question. We have a friend in there, and if necessary, we'll defend him at the cost of life and limb. You have to decide whether or not you're going to destroy something you believe is in some way good to achieve that end. Because our minds are not changing on that.
You would lay down all of your lives for that monster.
This monster is destined to save this world. My life, in the very least, is a very small price to pay.
And what?
Sorry, I wish there wasn't construction going on in my house right now.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know who that was, so I wasn't gonna say nothing. But yeah. And
It's
what?
like aggressive Minecraft LARP.
Yeah.
God damn it.
What of your other two companions? They are also willing to sacrifice their lives for this creature?
Not only for this creature, but for the future of this world.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be kind of hard. I mean, you're kind of with us because happenstance we're going to the place where you can be cured of an illness. But I mean, it's really cool that you're willing to lay down your life for someone who literally have never said anything to.
Yes, just hearing the Nova's speech, it sort of moves him to tears and actually allows him to actually build up the courage to actually help bring Soggy to the temple.
Also, Paladin.
Yep, Paladin.
And Mr. Lorathir? Never mind. That's right. You're hidden. I was about to be like, what are you hesitating for? But then, yeah, no, I get it. You're hidden. So you're like, I ain't saying nothing.
I'm like 2 miles away already. I booked it.
Yeah. So you are not there to answer, but because the other three, are all three of you get to take part in a skill challenge. This is the way it goes. You are now debating her on this. You need a cumulative total of 5 successes before 2 failures. The catch is each of you must roll at least 1 time.
Well, I'm going to use an inspiration point to roll at advantage.
Yeah, are we rolling against the given DC?
Yes, you are.
May we be given the DC?
Yes, you may. It is 15.
Okay.
And what are we rolling? Persuasion?
Persuasion.
Yeah. Okay, so let's count up our modifiers. Who do we want rolling the most, and who do we want rolling the least?
And of course, Lorathir, because you're not here, you're exempt from the rolling.
I'm pretty sure I have the highest charisma, and I also have skill and persuasion, proficiency in persuasion.
Yeah, your persuasion total is 8, so ideally you would make the majority of the rolls. So that means we have 5 checks total, and 2 of them have to be many others, is that right?
Yes.
Because I have to make one, and Gulan has to make one.
Correct.
And then Nova has to succeed at 3.
Correct.
Wow. On average, I succeed on this roll. Gulan, you want to make yours first? You probably have the worst modifier, right?
For persuasion, I have +6.
+6. Actually, you're neck with me. All right. Dice first, then.
I'll go first.
Yeah, see what happens.
And I'll use my inspiration to roll at advantage.
Yes, sir. I crushed it!
It's like that. I'll also throw mine in the pot. I'll use inspiration to roll at advantage.
Ooh,
Hey,
cutting it
nice.
close.
2-0.
And now it comes down to Nova in the hope that they roll in a medium to low average roll every time.
They just need 3
7 or
before
above.
2. Yeah, they just need 3 before 2. This should be pretty easy.
Yeah.
Can I donate my inspiration to Nova?
No, I'm sorry. I don't allow inspiration to go to anyone's roll but the roller.
His inspiration inspires
One
me.
failure, 1 success.
Yep, you're 1 and 1. And
Okay,
it's
one more
all the
success.
marbles. Or one more failure if you pass or fail on this one roll.
Wait, I rolled
That's
perception.
perception.
I rolled perception. That fucking.
That would have
scrambled
passed.
me.
That would have passed. But
It was just when the final modifier came up, I was just like, wow.
But because you rolled perception, I want you to roll again. Just roll persuasion. Just.
Roll persuasion.
Oh fuck! You rolled medicine, insight, and then.
Wait, it did?
Yeah.
I guess I rolled things with the same modifier. They're all +8.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, you guys pass, and she sees the goodness in the actions that you are taking, and that perhaps this, love and friendship that you bear him is enough good to offset the evil that is coursing through him, and maybe, just maybe, it'll be enough to save him, and so therefore she retracts her claws and wings and transforms back into the female and says, very well.
I will do the same.
We shall proceed to speak with Shavor and see what he has to say about this.
I return the arrow to my quiver and step from behind the tree.
While this was all happening, I just imagined the Undyne theme.
I'm over here. Noman's thinking inside his head. I mean, man, I'm an accomplished dragon hunter, but I would have felt bad about that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to kill dragons, but, to kill half dragons is,
Should have hit on it.
Well, I mean, what?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you guys did
If that worked out, it would have been great. Should have been like half human, half dragon, half robot.
I mean, as much as that sounds kind of ideal, I don't think Noman is actually in the game of swinging. Because, I mean, man, that really is an ideal waifu right there. I mean, come on.
I mean,
finally empowered.
For her benefit, he's got plenty of things that vibrates.
Shitting chickens. Come on, man.
All right.
I'm just saying, if I had flesh and blood, that is something I'd want to swing at, but not Noman.
So, Shevra leads you, deep into the woods to the side, and I mean, I wouldn't call them woods. It's certainly not a forest. It's like copses of trees. And
is that how it said? Copse? I thought it was cosps.
It's copse of trees, right? Am
I
I
thought
wrong?
It was cosp.
I'm pretty sure it's a copse of trees, but whatever.
It is fair.
So as she leads you in, suddenly there's a light as bright as the sun shining from the center of a clearing. Yeah, it's definitely copse.
Really? Oh,
It's
okay.
pronounced exactly the same as if the E wasn't there.
Oh, cops?
Cops.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's just like I thought it was cosp.
Yeah, so the copse of trees. Oh, coppice. That's where the word comes from. Coppice. Got it. So it's a copse of trees. And anyway, shining out from the center is a light as bright as the sun.
What? Druids? Sorry, tree cups.
Yeah, tree copse. Yeah. And she just kind of gestures towards the grove of trees.
Well, let's head that direction.
So you guys enter the grove of trees expecting to, see someone or something, and instead all you see is a light so bright that it becomes all encompassing, and you are basically like in a all white room like in the Matrix, but all you can just see is light.
I turned down my luminosity sensitivity.
Yeah, it's definitely
I squint.
Yeah, there's definitely
Safe squints.
something giving off all of these lumens, but it's so bright that even at the most filtered that you can get it, the most you can make out is like when you stare really hard at like the inside of a light bulb, to where like you can almost see like a shape, but not really.
So
A silhouette.
It's almost grasp the squiggly thingy.
Yeah. But,
Almost know its form.
yeah, but what you see kind of like defies logic as well, because it is as big as
Hot.
it is as big as a building.
Like what? How big of a building?
Like a 4 to 5 story building.
Ah, so like a big building.
Like 80 feet tall.
Like 40 to 50, but yeah.
So I was like saying, like technically a shack is a building. That wouldn't have been that impressive.
Correct.
Then again, so is
an
like,
outhouse.
the Empire State Building.
Right. Yeah, like 40 feet tall-ish.
Ah.
And like half again as wide.
Yeah. Anyway, so looking at the imperceptible form of this thing, it's just like, God. Like,
I
that's a
am
bit
not
harsh on the eyes.
God.
Can you do that?
I am not God. I am merely his emissary here on Earth. I am Shavor, High Priest of Palor. Who comes before me?
And as
I-
this sort of word spoken, Qualan sort of kneels down in sort of respect and says, I am Qualan, watcher of the forest.
I am Nova. Please, there is very little time. You must help my friend in the way that I know only that you can.
You are the one who sent me a message.
Yes. It was I.
I do not know you.
You do not know me now, but you will know me many, many years from now.
And then, so here is where you will be able to share that in that future, he tells you all about the story of how he met his first wife, and the whirlwind romance that they had, and how she died.
All right. Without too much to go on, I guess I'll just kind of reiterate that.
Yeah, or if you want to embellish a little, like, go right ahead, but
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is like, it won't seem very specific, or it'll be like there was that time you met that lady and you really liked her.
Sure.
You're like, oh yeah, that was me.
Yeah, no, I get it. I just, if you wanted to throw a little personal flavor in there, I was gonna allow you to, since it got retconned that this guy ended up being your teacher and all that. So
That's why I meant like I should have asked you during the week and
Yeah.
kind of like forgot,
Yeah.
because then I would have been able to just kind of give that response as opposed to you telling me now.
Exactly.
But it is what it is.
So yeah,
I'll tell him how he met the love of his life and the details of the romance they had.
But how could you have known that? I told no one of her.
We have not told anyone yet.
I see.
I am from a distant future in which the world is damned. You and Paylord sent me here to rectify the cause.
Huh. I sent you back here, huh? Hmm. And then go ahead and roll for persuasion with advantage because you told him the story.
Search your feelings, you know it to be true.
Yeah. But you know, since you told him a story of a lovely lady, he is more prone to believe what you have to say. That would be you, Bad Data. Nova needs to roll for persuasion
With advantage.
With advantage. Hello? Bad Data?
Bad Data?
Oh no, we lost Bad Data.
I know, I'm about to ping him. I gotta ping him. Make sure he's still paying attention.
Would somebody else be able to?
Yeah. Hello, Bad Data. Paging. Hello.
He's typing in chat.
Oh, he must be busy. All right, let me just go ahead and clear Nova. Okay, somebody go ahead and grab Nova and roll. With advantage, persuasion. All right. So you managed to get just above the 20 DC, and so he believes you that you were sent back here.
I'm gonna bring forth Sod. Please, you have to help my friend.
Okay, so he says, I am afraid that he is beyond my power to heal.
If that's Kasagi, I mean, it's like the world's most powerful players can't do anything for him.
As he tells you this, Nova protests and says, "No, we have not, come this far to fail now. You're the most powerful cleric in the world. There must be something, anything that can be done." And Shavor sits back and considers for a moment and says, perhaps at the ancient Temple of the Sun, Pelor's power is still strong enough there that I could channel his, divine light directly into your companion. It may kill him, but it may cure him.
Please help him in any way that you can.
If we do nothing, he will certainly die.
Yes, I see. Very well.
I also believe I also might need some curing.
Who are you?
I am, as I said before, I am Corlan.
Yeah. Do I need to save you for this world to be saved, or no?
Simply look for a way to cure myself.
Well, look, you guys just gave me one huge task. Can I try to solve that one before I have to solve the next one, or do we have to
No.
This is not the DM. This is Shavor.
I did not mean to seem that way.
What do you want first? The vampire cured or the leprosy cured?
The vampire.
Okay. So that's what Shavor is going to focus on then. So he says, "We shall have to travel by night, for during the day Pelor's divine countenance shines upon me and causes me to glow with such radiance that I'm a very easy target. And at night I am able to travel, much faster than in disguise during the day." But Nova, you were not aware of this because he took great pains to hide it during your timeline because Visanthus was hunting him. But as night falls, you see the true form of Shavor, an ancient, massive gold dragon.
My goodness.
It's not known. Home, bro? Yeah. What's up?
And then so Shavor allows you all to climb onto his back. Unfortunately, this means that you must leave your horses and anything else behind, that can't climb onto the dragon's back. But the dragon Shavor then begins to fly at great speed across the lands of Caldonia towards Iru Moria. Now here is where I must confess that this was supposed to be the curtain close was climbing onto the dragon and flying away. However, since we still have quite a bit of time left, I am now going to open the floor up to open role-playing as much as you guys want to do between yourselves and Shavor as you travel to Iru Moria, and we will instead close with you guys arriving at Iru Moria. So it doesn't bother me if you guys want to take the whole rest of the normal allotted time and do some role-playing, or if it wraps up in 15 minutes because we covered everything. I'm not here to force you to do any more or less role playing than you would like. So, yeah, let's just open the floor up to anything that anybody has to say. If you ask Shavor any questions or talk to him in any way, I'll jump in. So yeah, go right ahead, guys.
So, as he sort of, as Ulfimar is sort of riding upon the back of this mighty golden drake, says, "Are you truly a child of the high priest?"
No, I am the high priest.
Oh, sorry.
Shavora.
Savora. So, you truly a dragon, Shavora. This is certainly something I have not known.
I do not go around advertising my true form, but yes, I am one of the few uh, dragons from before the fall.
It is truly, you are truly an impressive. You are truly impressive in this form.
Yes, my scales gleam even in the moonlight. My powerful muscles ripple beneath your bodies. My scales are as thick and as hard as the walls of your castles. My teeth are like massive lances. My eyes can see right through your armor.
I do have a question. It's just for the sake of my teehees, really. Um, Super powerful cleric that's a dragon. Why is he scared of Vasanthus?
Because that's how powerful Vasanthus is in the future.
Indeed.
Sure, fair enough. Fair enough. But I was just like, wait a second, it's a fucking dragon? Like, shouldn't he just like crap all over a vampire? Like, get at it.
Yeah, you would think that normally, and perhaps if Shavor would have known about Visanthus and considered him a real threat now, he could have like stomped him out. But he allowed Visanthus to get powerful, and then it was too late.
All right, I'll just straight up ask him, will you help us stop Vasanthus?
I do not fight battles for mortals.
But you do fight battles for Paylor.
I do Paylor's bidding, whatever that may be.
I see.
Well, it may be the case that soon you might have to fight him for the sake of Palor.
Paylor will present his mission to me when he sees fit.
All right. I'm gonna take the opportunity to actually tell him, like, catch him up to speed, basically, so that Nova knows, Um, yeah. Give me a second. As I said to you before,
Did Nova turn into a robot? Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah. Nova and Noman became one.
Beep boop bop boop. Yeah, give me a second on that.
No worries. Lorithir, is there anything that you would...
In the distant future,
okay, go ahead.
Vasanthus had managed to corrupt the shining blade of the sun, and with it, he created the blade that would mask the world in darkness forever. Untold misery swept the world like a wave in the sea. I did my best to show him the light. But forever is not what it seems it is. Even if he were to live in this world, million or hundreds of millions of years, inevitably it will come to an end. And when that time comes, he will be brought before Palor like everyone else. I try to show him that Palor's love, he would forgive him, and even turn him back into a mortal. And as I came close to showing him this truth, he flung me into the future.
Past.
He went into the past, and Palor had sent me back after him to prevent whatever damage he may cause in this timeline. He has the body of his current self, but has all of the knowledge and memories of who he was in the future. He must be stopped. While I do not wish for his destruction, I fear that it may be their only report.
Okay, go ahead, Hazard.
Indeed, I can understand the the necessity of fighting against this force of evil if the future is to be preserved. Though I do not understand how he managed to get his hands on time magic. He's sort of like very confused. Is it somehow connected to him raiding all those magical temples and such?
I'm not so certain. All I could say, for sure, is this world is blessed by many magic on many times. There are some magics that we all know of, and then there are some that we have never seen before. If you are a long-lived immortal vampire, it stands to reason that you may have come across such things. Of what I am not so sure.
Very true. Are you still with us, Bad Dad, or can you not communicate since you're laying down?
Did you say that headache or something?
Yeah, he's got a bad headache, so he might be out of this RP here. Lorathier, do you have anything you would like to contribute or discuss either with your companions, with Shavor, or just questions for the DM?
I listen intently to Nova's story, not having heard most of these details so far. We just have never had an opportunity to really stop and discuss. So much of this is new information to me, and I see the seriousness of the situation and her commitment to finding a resolution, and it fills me with drive to aid her in solving this great evil and in stopping this great evil.
Aww.
But at the same time, I'm captivated by the beast that we are riding on.
For sure, yeah.
Never having seen anything like it, and a third thing that could take my entire attention were we in another situation is the height we're traveling at allows me to see so much more of the world at one time than I'd ever been able to see before, that I'm just stunned to silence as the country rolls beneath us and the dragon's wings flex and the story is told. I sit in silent awe, captivating and just putting as much of it into my memory as I can.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's good stuff there. So exactly, you've never seen a creature like this in real life, let alone this up close. And so, exactly like you described, you're basically in awe and can't formulate a proper sentence because you don't know what to say to any of this. Um, and so everybody kind of continues to talk to Shavor and get the information and beg him to
And
help. Go ahead.
and maybe I sort of like if there's any sort of plot points that relate to the area that Qualan is from that you want to share. Now would be a good time to speak through it to Qualan.
I would, except for you come from pretty much halfway across the world right now. We are deep in Caledonian territory, which means that aside from the occasional hill dwarf, you are looking at mostly humans and halflings.
Got it. Sorry, just
No
making.
worries. I'll pull up the big map for you and just remind you guys where you're at.
I will ask him, Shavor, about him being a dragon. I had no idea.
Yeah, so, I am an ancient dragon who lived back before the fall, and I have been protecting the realms of men ever since because y'all weak as soft serve ice cream.
And sort of after that comment, Orm sort of let Qualan sort of just lets out of a sort of a cheerful laugh that ends in a sort of weakened, sort of sickly cough. Indeed.
Shavor, there's
That
something I
I
must tell
cannot
you.
deny.
So you guys are like
Shavor,
somewhere in here where Lorthir's token is. Yes?
there's something I have to tell you, but I believe you had better brace for it.
Oh my god, you guys all got some deadly disease and now I'm infected.
No, just Soggy and Qualan.
And mine isn't really even infectious. It only travels through bloodlines.
What I do have to tell you is about your future.
You can't tell me about the future. That violates the laws of time travel.
Those laws have already been violated. The future has already been changed. From the moment the Santos came into this timeline, it was changed forever. You see, if it is not obvious enough for you, I am not a fighter. I don't like doing harm to others, even the Santos. But in the end, I was all that was left to face him. I am just but a light cleric, which means you die.
We all die.
Another thing is very important that I have to ask you. I had conjured Plano. It was a time of great need. I had disturbing news. I was told Taylor does not sit upon his throne in Elysium. Do you know of this?
Ah. Yes.
And also, note Noman told Noman said that if he gave the dragon the hilt, would he keep it safe?
You have the hilt of the sword of Arcadius?
Yes.
Indeed, he does.
That is an ancient relic that belongs in the hands of the priests of Pelor. Not only, will I, but you must turn it over.
Wait. There is a little complication. You see, this is not the one. This hilt does not come from this time. Which means there is a strong possibility there is another one.
What, do you want to dual wield them?
Well, no, but I mean, like, I don't know if that was ever something that was ever conceived of before, but I will tell him it's not active. Its power has been depleted. And though it is tempting to have it reactivated, so long as it is inactive, it cannot be corrupted, which it was in the future. This is the hilt from after its corruption. But this blade, I know, it's ancient, powerful, and would potentially and is potentially much older than you are. It stands to reason that there may be another in this world. While it is important to keep this one out of the hands of the Santa, I haven't the slightest idea of where he could even possibly search for the other one. The one from this time, honestly.
Soggy knows exactly where to find it.
Indeed, he does. But currently, he's
it's in the water temple.
Yeah, no, it's not. But yeah, that is funny.
well, it certainly is in a body of water, but that's besides the point. Right now, he's currently enraged with bloodlust because vampire.
Correct. Yes.
So, what must we do to help my friend Soggy?
I am flying you to the ancient sun temple as fast as possible, and from there, I shall use what little bit of Pelor's divine presence remains to try and channel it into him and cure him.
Is there a way we can help with that process?
Sure. Are you high clerics of Pelor?
Besides being high clerics of Pelor.
Okay.
Oh. You know what would be important? I'll wait. It's after this.
What? Go ahead.
Noman, do you remember when that time-displaced version of Donovan was here? What was it that he told you about Soggy and DeSantis?
Kill them both, let God sort them out?
No. He said that there is infinite timelines, and in every world there's a Soggy going after a DeSantis. And that it just shows how important Soggy is.
Right, yeah. And again, I think Noman might not be able to actually talk right now. I think he's still listening, though, so.
He is listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just with the current party, the only one here who'd be able to actually be aware of that knowledge and be able to say it is Noman.
Yeah. So, this is probably a good time to go ahead and wrap it up then, since, Bad Data's not feeling so hot and we've accomplished everything that we needed to accomplish for this. And so you guys will be landing in Iru Moria next time on Heroes Wanted. I want to thank you guys for playing. I want to thank anyone who's watching. And as always, everyone, good
Gaming.
Gaming.